all right. So, Lurib, again, thank you, Lurib, for the subscription. Enjoy your private sketchbook at the Discord. Already, you're in full swing taking use of it, giving you some solid feedback already. It's a good move, man. Good move. Smart guy. Hey, Tormod Zealin. And for all you people, Dave Raposa and Daniel Warren interviewed Brad Rigney yesterday, and on Twitch they're called Steve Lichman. I will find the URL for you guys, so it's one click, easy click. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop it. So if you go to their account, and you click latest video or videos, and you can find it. It was really good. Really interesting discussions. They're obviously good friends, so it's a really nice conversation they're having. Lurib, yeah, you got a star. You also got the gang sign. You can throw down the gang signs in the in the chat as a thank you for helping to support it. Hey Quentin, Kirill, how's it going? So I recommend you guys after the stream, obviously, go and take a listen at the interview. It's a 4-hour talk, but it's really cool. Dave Raposa and Darren Warren, really comfortable talking with Brad Rigney. Some knowledge bombs being dropped. So I strongly recommend you guys take a listen to that afterwards. It's really good. I'll post the URL again for you guys. Yeah, they're really rare, but he really talked about good stuff and open and sharing, and he talked about some crazy stuff that blew my mind. Like he spent half a year painting on one painting for Dungeons and Dragons. That absolutely broke my mind. How can you paint on one painting for half a year? That just, I just don't understand it. Israel, yeah, but they did a great job. They did a really stellar interview. I must say, it's very impressive. Hey, good morning, Miller. How's it going, man? Tom Cool. What's up, buddy? All right, let's go. Algani, yeah, the painting is big, high resolution, and also it was used for absolutely everything related to Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. The art director, I mean, Brad Rigney talks about it in the interview. I mean, you're more than welcome to take a listen to what they were talking about. I don't want to give away too much, but he discussed like that the art director even championed for more pay for Brad Rigney because the painting was, stretching to half a year, and there was revisions constantly being made, and them loving the painting and wanted adjustments and so on. So yeah, but that's crazy, man. Hey, Bruno Romanos. Eric. Yeah, I spent some time on it, cleaning it up. I changed the palette. Um, I'm not super happy with the light on the face. The volumes are very messed up. Uh, it just doesn't come across as realistic. Not realistic, that's the wrong term, but it's something's irking me with it. It's just like rubbing up against me in the wrong way. Um, hey, Gria, how's it going? Yeah, it's a good one, Tomku. Yeah, but I strongly recommend you guys take a listen to Brad Rickney's interview with Dave Raposa yesterday. Really, really good listen. And I also, Gria, 3 months. Oh man, that is crazy. I gotta make a new animation for that, by the way. Good. And also badges. Badges is really something on my to-do list. I will try to do that on my lunch today. Subscriber animation, noise, and badges. You can get badges like 3 months, 6 months, uh, so on. Anyways, super thank you, Gria, for the subscription. You're gonna get your badge, man. Uh, you should post on Discord more, Gria. Your sketchbook. You got it there. Should take advantage of the support. Eric, yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit messy in the face. And there's lots of like small lines and details, but I think I'll make it work. But Eric, I was gonna mention today on the stream that I might redo the face when the shadows have been blocked in and the edges been faded. Like now, I'm just making with a hard brush, and what I'm gonna do afterwards is because I'm making the shadows on a correction layer. I can go and with soft brush and blur edges without having to worry about the transitions and so on. Hey Mila, how's it going? Miss, or should we say Queen, Magic the Gathering, Queen MTG Mila. Is that your new name? Awesome. Schmaze, there we go. On tweet, Steve Lichman, aka Dave Raposa, Darren Warren's Twitch account. They interviewed Brad Rigney there. And also, I got the name drop in the interview. Hey! So silly. Yeah, the second book. I mean, what they did with Steve Lichman is so good. Really, really good fun. I should really do some fan art for it. Yeah, Ricky. Oh yeah. I was name dropped when they were discussing making a name for yourself in terms of like longevity and specializing in what you're doing. Quite interesting to hear. Like recognizable. Isra, I don't know about that, but at least I got name dropped this one. Yeah, Eric. like that. They literally Brad used me as an example in that term. That's cool. Yeah. Mad love to the guy. I don't have the pleasure of haven't had the pleasure of meeting him, but he seems like a really cool guy. I gotta reach out to him and say thanks for the love and how I appreciated the interview. Nothing wrong with giving some love to the guy. How does it write the name of artist of the interview, Bruno Romanus? What do you mean? How did you find it? You just go to the latest video, and it's the latest one. They literally ended it like 8 hours ago, so it should be up there. Isra, yeah, well, it's you can do both. You can specialize, or you can do a bit of everything. It doesn't really matter. It's all that matters is consistency and professionalism and all that, you know. Hey, Georg, how's it going? Ricky. I like saying it that, by the way. I hope you don't mind. Uh, I want him to be piano black as a complete opposite to him. He's a character, right? He has white. If I start adding white to the dog, it becomes a different flavor. Then for me, how I see it, like the man's dog becomes the extension now because, as I see it, he has robotic parts, and the robotic parts are that dark metal, and then him himself is white, right? So I'm seeing it as if the dog's starting to become white, the dog is stops becoming an augmentation, a tool. So I want the dog to be 100% a tool, like it is a guard dog. It is not supposed to be an extension of him in the sense of personality. It is supposed to be a pure high-end tool. It's a robot dog. It's a cyborg dog. So that's my thinking about the decisions of not extending the character's attributes to the dog. I mean, it really doesn't matter whatever decision that entails, but the fact that I'm thinking about it and making that artistic decision probably will that will probably translate to someone else observing it subconsciously or actively. I don't know. Yeah, so the gold elements is in the dog because it's like a indicator of the technology. I don't know. I'm enjoying the journey at least. So, like I said, what I will do at a later point, I will zoom in and show you. Like now, I'm doing the shadows with a hard brush, but what I will do is, what's lovely with using a mask like that, right? And I can do this, but I can sample it, and it just samples the grayscale value. It doesn't sample the color when I'm painting in the mask there. So that's the idea of what I will do with the shadows, because it's okay to you know, like when you're using a hard brush, you can go around the painting and block it out, and then you just spend some time, you know, like making smooth transitions and making it hard and soft at places, and it makes it super, you know, super smooth, efficient, straightforward, and another impactful words that you can you can come up with: extreme efficiency. Yeah, I get it, yeah. Like if I switch that off, switch the shadows off. Yeah, for the shadows, yeah, because I don't need to worry about the line art. I don't need to worry about anything else than just painting the shadows, the shape of the shadows, and the transitions of the shadows. That way, when I use a mask, and what's great with the mask is because it's on a layer, I can also adjust it in whatever way I want to adjust it. And because it's in a mask, if you make a new layer, oh, you're not gonna see. Let me rotate, scale it up. And if you hold Alt, click the mask and drag the mask to a new layer, that layer, you duplicate the mask and apply it to the next layer. So you make a new layer and drag the mask onto that layer. You'll get the mask already there. So in that way you can, like if you want to do a specific adjustment to the shadows only, with color or something, you can just drag the mask to a new one, and you'll get it automatically without having to fill around. Bjorn, yeah, it absolutely feels like sculpting. You just sit now and think about the volumes and the groups of information in the light and how to make it read good, and then next step is where should a smooth edge be, where should a hard edge be, and you can easily like manage everything more efficiently. Makes it a lot more easier and straightforward. By the way, like descriptive words, is that called superlative? Superlative? Like exciting, fantastic, a fantastic car. Is that called superlative? Superlative? Hey, the shoe thief, how's it going? Adjectives. Yeah, but the adjectives is like the red car, the round car. But I don't know. No, the what's in the mask is just um oh, can't show it, but it's just shadow group. And in order to make it smooth, I made a group above. I put the correction layer in a group, and the group, the selection is the silhouette of the characters. So I can't paint out, you know, I can't put shadows outside of the character. So now I can paint freely, like as far as outside of the silhouette as I want, because there's a mask in the group. The most. Oh, okay, Quentin. Cheers. Red clay, yeah. Inception, mask inception. And I can't wait to start adding grading to this. With grading, it's gonna come alive a lot more. Um, I know what it, like I'm just waiting for that step. That step is gonna be a fun step. Um, to try to tweak it, just right. Oh, that shadow group became really weird now. I think with a it's a weird noise. 1 second. I had to ask. Sounded like weird noise, like someone fell or. But my boy is good. I think I need to add a group there. You can't see that well, unfortunately. I can hardly see it here. But it's an amazing drawing by my boy, with monsters and all sorts of things, Star Wars stuff. Plants inside the plants? Oh yeah, man. You know it. You gotta know that. You gotta know your process. And I've noticed that a lot of times when a painting looks bad, you like knock yourself down, going like, oh, this sucks. Like the painting isn't right. Let's take the troll painting for the golden ticket, right? I keep mentioning when I get to this point, I will start doing that. I will start doing X. I will start doing Y, and it'll be good. And I'm saying like, I just need to put down the foundation so that I have something to bite on, like so that the tweaks can be applied, right? Because I know my process. Like I've done it so many times that I know that okay, I just need to do these things, like a checkbox, tick tick tick, and then I can start adding flavor on top. It's the same with in this style, this cartoon, like not cartoon, but comic style, right? I put down the shadows. I will smooth the shadows. I know what the next step is. The grading on top gonna make it sing. And I know, like, it doesn't look that impressive at the moment in that sense. Like, I know it's gonna look when I add the next couple of steps on top. But the better I can get it at this point, like as accurate as I get it at this point, those additional steps on top is gonna just make it even sweeter, you know. So that's why, for example, it's so important to be aware of what you're doing and how you like doing it. Lurib. I mean, it's not like I set out like a master plan going, okay, what's my process? And I just stopped everything. Like, hold your horses. What's the best process I can come up with? you know, you can't do that because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing, and it doesn't matter how many times you sit and think about it. It's gonna be you don't you're not gonna know. But that being said, when I was starting out at the conceptart.org forums, I always shared step by steps, I call them, like picture 1 to 6 of the layers in my Photoshop file, like sketch, color, tweaks, details, final. And I made them like a picture after picture, like a lineup. And I always noticed at the beginning that I do it in a certain way. Like step 1, sketch. Step 2, add overlay. or whatever, and it just becomes okay. I like this process, right? And then you keep doing that process, and you're happy doing it. And then of course you stumble onto a new tool, or someone says, "Oh, by the way, Bjorn, you can paint colors in the layer mask," and you go, "Oh, really?" And then you try it, like, "Oh, that's a cool technique. I wonder at what point can I add it to my repertoire?" And then I go, "Oh, at what point do I start the coloring process, and where can I apply it?" You go, "All right, okay." I usually sketch it, and then you know, so it's all just down to you thinking about um, what you're doing, and when the more you are active in it and thinking about it, the easier it is that you can go, right, I know what I'm doing, the next two steps, and the next two steps is going to be, so I can just be sure that I need to check the boxes of, at this point, for example, what I'm looking for in this stage of the drawing is to just have good shadows. That's the purpose of me doing this. I could go like a render machine, top to bottom, uh, but that's gonna be. I'm just gonna have to then rely on my skill set. Here I can experiment and think loudly, visually. Let's have a look. Sketching, changing, altering. Oh yeah, man, you went all over the place. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a game plan. Like you jumped too quick into it. That's funny. Yeah, it happens. Brad Rigney talked about that as well, actually. Um, so I recommend you guys, after this stream, um, go and have a listen. Really, really good talk. There you go for the URL. If you go to that URL, Steve Lichman link, it's to Dave Rapose's Twitch and Darren Warren's, and you check latest videos, and there's an interview with 4-hour interview with Brad Rigney. A really nice and relaxed 4-hour discussion between them. It was really, really good listen. So I recommend it. Something here in the crotch that messing with my mind. Right, I think I can start. I'm not gonna touch the dog too much. That's gonna come later. I'm gonna start working on the shadows a bit. What I love about doing this style is you can, number one, sample in the mask and don't need to worry about color. It just samples the grayscale value. Imagine what you're drawing now is just on white paper, whatever you're drawing on the mask, and if you add something to the mask, that's one value up. So you can sample 1% value, even if it's orange or yellow or green. It disregards color. It just looks at the value that's in the mask, which is cool. And what you can do with this is, what I really like with it is that you can get really nice suggestion of form and cast shadows, like a super crisp line that fades out, like a shadow that's in an angle away from the surface. So the shadow, the further away that you are from the surface, the shadow will be blurry, and the closer it is to the object, the sharper the edge is going to be. And you can make it really, really easy by just painting in the mask. Bruno Romanus, I just did. I can do it again. Or do you want the specific link? Alright, I can do that too. If you're lazy. There you go. The exact link. Lazy. Just kidding, man. Just kidding. No problem, man. No problem. So the trick on these like a little bit more hard surface angles is you got to try to maintain the angularity of the shadows, but at the same time as fading them or working on them. That's the challenge with hard surface stuff. Is like you got to take in consideration in how metal bends and how light moves on surfaces when they're smooth and metallic. If you want to indicate that there are, they're not fabric. Needs some more tweaks up there. I gotta go in and fix those shadows up here. Doesn't come across correct. I won't do highlights. Let me show you. Doop, doop, doop. You see, none of these have highlights. It's completely void of highlights. But what I will try to do though is I think I will need to indicate shiny surface. Isra, like in terms of knowledge, it's just understanding. Like if you would want a real life example, is probably like airplane fuselage or something, where you can see those bigger shapes with a little bit more intricate relationship to each other, or white sports car or something. If you would need to do that study in that sense. Lurie, but if this is a world IP, no, not really. It's just cyberpunk love. I'm a fan of cyberpunk, so I mean, it could easily be an IP, no problems. But it's, you know, there's no story behind it. It's just random. Israel, it's okay, man. I got you. I got you. Um, yeah, time's up. Lurib, I did like the trailer for Cyberpunk. I ranted about it on a stream. Uh, Long story short, I was surprised of the colorful direction. Um, but big picture wise, it doesn't matter. I think they do know what they're doing. I'm excited about it. Looking forward to see more. Anyways, no, yes. Just gonna cheat a bit and add a very basic shadow. And then I have to call it today. Alright, that's it for today. Time is up. Hey Japo, how's it going, man? Yeah, it's very 80s. Let's see. Gears Art. What's he doing? He's hosting someone. John Silva. Oh, John Silva is doing pretty cool stuff. Right. Let's raid John Silva. He's a great guy. And see you guys tomorrow morning. I might do a stream on my lunch. We'll see. Either way, it's gonna be a stream tomorrow morning. Have a good one. And let's go raid John Silva. Make sure that you click follow on him if you haven't. He's a variety streamer, creative streamer, fantastic artist, a young guy as well. Anyways, he's a great guy, as in friendly. You know, you're a great guy. Doesn't mean your skills are at the top.